Hi, all. I thought I'd like to comment on the political situation and what's going on in the world and how that relates to cannabis and how all of those things relate to human health collectively, social health, and where things are going from a scientific perspective. Since I view everything from this far from equilibrium thermodynamic perspective, I like to share the interpretations that that offers for a variety of global situations. So, first of all, what do we really see happening with the Democrats and the Republicans? The media doesn't quite get it, and certainly neither of the parties want to get it. But what we're seeing is the true rejection of the party system as it's currently existing between Democrats and Republicans. They are the status quo in Washington. They are, as Bernie Sanders very accurately points out, they are the corruption. And it's not the Democrats or the Republicans alone, it's both of them. They play a tug of war that really goes nowhere. And right now, the country really needs to go somewhere beyond the limited vision of these flips. We need flips. Limited vision of blips. We need to replace the cannabinoid deficient people with their limited vision of what can be with a new way of looking at things, period. There's new technologies coming on board that can provide a clean, pollution free future that have to be more thoroughly investigated and propagated and developed. They are there, I believe. I've seen things that now has really had an impact on my understanding of what could be. And I feel that it just points out all the more glaringly that governmental illness is holding back the people of the world and keeping them really in a very suppressed and unenlightened state that doesn't have to be. We don't have to have a world filled with tension and the threat of wars and armaments. Where does that come from? When's the last time the people really somehow connected to that as their desire? You know, these wars and these conflicts and weapons developments globally, those are occurring because the leadership has created that reality. The combination of leadership and industry and how they're embed together and propagate what is. And it's a natural thing to do that. But at this point in human development, we have to go beyond a static past of combativeness and aggression and I, me, mine into a new world of cooperativity, which is actually the foundation of everything anyway. If you've seen my videos and you look up dissipative structures, you understand that fundamental inorganic chemicals cooperate with one another to create organization, and the pyramiding of that organization has created the world that we're in today. The formation of life, the successive phase changes that are in fact speciation, and bringing us to where we are today, where we're in a very crucial point, not just in human evolution, but in the evolution of the biosphere. And just the same way that when bacteria first appeared on the planet a billion years ago, they created, actually more than a billion years ago, they created a change in the atmosphere that produced oxygen, which led to the ability to burn all of the hydrocarbon corpses of the bacteria that lived for a billion years and died and created organic matter that could be burned, which means you could evolve to the point of things eating that. And that's where things started, you know, where we really had the explosion of differentiation because of the ability to burn hydrocarbons efficiently and oxygen. Of course, having previously been fed by photosynthetic bacteria that could take sunlight and chemosynthetic bacteria that could take other inorganic compounds from volcanic earth and create more complicated, more complex biochemicals, ultimately what became biochemicals. So here we are today. We have this endocannabinoid system that regulates everything in our body. We don't talk about it very much in medical school, and we still have law enforcement thinking it's something bad. We still have idiot people thinking, that marijuana is going to destroy the youth of America. The absurdity continues. And we have one presidential candidate who has said we have to end this, and that's Bernie Sanders. So what I would love to see happen is Bernie Sanders run as an independent because the party system is going to squeeze him out. And I want to see Donald Trump run as an independent because the Republican Party system would love to squeeze him out. And he'll break his contract with them for some whatever reason he deems appropriate. And I'm sure they're going to give him one. So what I think we really need to have happen is the disaffected people of America need to reject Democrats, need to reject Republicans, and need to vote for an independent Bernie or an independent Trump, although obviously Bernie has much more in line with my way of thinking. But either one of those opportunities will break the party system that is strangling America and actually the rest of the world, because it's a similar type of blip that have risen to the to the top because they are such blips that they feed into that system and can succeed within that wrong way of thinking. The people who automatically are negative for any circumstance, they're the ones who don't make enough cannabis. They can't deal with change. So instead, they want to control things. And what we need now is a different kind of a world based on cooperativity, based on intelligence and science. We can't continue in the same vein that we have been. So it's very important, I believe, for all of us to get out and to make sure that we have a real political revolution, that we get behind Bernie Sanders, the only candidate with enough brains to say marijuana must be legal. We have a huge medical marijuana community. We have more and more people understanding every day the medical value and the general health value. It's an anti-aging drug. I've used it for 52 years. I'm 68 years old. This stuff is good for you, and I have a right to use that, and you have a right to use that. We all do. It's an essential nutrient for modern man. We have to make sure Bernie gets elected because that becomes our voice. We demonstrate our power. We have it sitting there right in front of us right now. Bernie has given us the opportunity because if we put him in, if we, the marijuana community, put Bernie into presidency, we now have that opportunity to change the world. It's up to all of us. We have to get off our asses. We have to get our family and our friends involved. And we have to make sure that Bernie gets elected by the cannabis community to change the world. Please, please. Bye.